Yes, Megha. I would say the point that my former colleague um, raised, it's very significant. Of course, this first ever Global Buddhist Summit has happened, and it's significant, especially in enhancing the soft power, if I can put it that way, of India and the rightful place of India as the birthplace of Buddhism. And the impeccable teachings of Lord Buddha is here where it has happened. It's crucial. However, our focus on the grassroots level of how it can be built, how the Buddhist sites and the Buddhist monasteries and Buddhist education system can be revived and can be facilitated by Government of India is one way of focusing on ensuring that it can be preserved. So I think I would say that it's very crucial. And if I can put it, I felt that, while watching the event live this morning, it was very heartwarming for me to see, India actually champion the teaching of Lord Buddha. We saw a large number of Buddhist leaders gathered there, dignitaries and researchers from around the world come together for this summit, which will certainly enhance the cultural and diplomatic relationship of India with many other nations in making sure that the Buddhism as philosophy, it can ensure the rightful place of India as a Vishwaguru. Is something that can be a starter from today, and I hope that it happens. But if I can be honest about the event, I felt, while watching the whole gathering with the audience of many important lamas present there, and of course, Honorable Prime Minister Modi and the ministers, I felt the lack of absence of His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama in the gathering. And we know that he is the religious Buddhist leader of the world, and to see him not present at the event was slightly saddening, if I can put it that way, because as Honorable Prime Minister mentioned that Bharat ne duniya ko youth nahi buddh diya hai. I honestly believe that, and the focus of this summit surrounds around many of the issues that His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama has been focusing and teaching on, whether it's about the reviving the Nalanda tradition, or addressing on non-violence, and the teaching of focusing on dialogue. There are so many things that His Holiness has been focusing on, and the summit would have been enhanced with his presence. And I hope that, the fact that, we're hoping that he'll be visiting the event tomorrow, but the fact that his name was not even mentioned really saddened me, not just as a Tibetan, but as a Buddhist.
Okay.
And
also, it would be interesting to note, because just a couple of days ago, before the summit came into being, today and tomorrow the summit is going to take place, there was a statement that was made by a union minister going about saying that we are really hopeful that the Dalai Lama would grace us with his presence at the summit. So I would not want to delve into that matter, but Yudon, I'm going to come back to you again. Now, how important does it become for India to recognize and then develop the Buddhist sites, temples, educational institutions in Tibet, which is at this point occupied by China? Okay, I'm being told that Yudon is not in the telecast with me, but Namgyal, again going to pose this question to you. How important does it become to recognize and then develop these religious sites in Tibet, keeping in mind that Tibet has still not gotten global recognition as an autonomous state?
For sure, Megha. We know that, especially because of the Cultural Revolution, 1,000 years old Tibetan monasteries and religious sites have been destroyed during the Cultural Revolution with the invasion of China's Communist Party. And it was not just limited to the 50s. We saw even lately, several years back, we have seen many important idols of Lord Buddha and Maitri being destroyed in Tibet. And one thing we hope is this teaching and the summit would have a positive impact on Tibet, and that China would take a positive lesson from the summit. And despite the fact that China's Communist Party has proclaimed itself to be an atheist government, an atheist nation, not giving importance to any religion, we must know that Buddhism is not just about a religion, but a philosophy of compassion and a positive way of living. And this is something that can really help the Chinese Communist Party itself, and to assure that the Tibetan people inside Tibet, for them to feel that they can be themselves under the Chinese leadership. It's important that they grant them their freedom of religion, which hasn't happened so far. And they, Chinese Communist Party is the reason why they feel threatened at every second inside Tibet. So of course, protecting the sites and everything is important. However, making sure that the study and again at the grassroots level for the Tibetans to be able to practice the basic Buddhism is something that is so crucial at the moment.
Yeah. And therefore, like I said, steps
India,
that need to be taken by the Indian government and by all the governments who have sent their monks to this convention. Remember, there's Sri Lanka, South Korea, Japan, United States of America, Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, Brazil, Mexico. There are 30